Today I want to talk about structure. You absolutely need structure. This is for my entrepreneurs, my entertainers, my aspiring artists. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Loft Talk. I'm your host, Dareus, and we're going to get right into the episode. Today I want to talk about structure. You absolutely need structure. This is for my entrepreneurs, my entertainers, my aspiring artists. You, as someone who runs your own life, number one, as an adult, as a young adult, whatever the case may be. Number two, if you own your own business, especially if you're just now starting out and you're fully in control, you don't have a manager, you're not answering to anybody, you need structure. And I'm only saying this because I know if I dealt with it, I'm not the only one, right? Early on, when I first started out, like I've started multiple different hustles and businesses and all types of stuff, right? When I first started out, and I know this now because of where I am now, I lacked structure. And I couldn't figure out, why is this not working out? Why does this seem so hard? Why like it made so much sense, but why didn't it pan out? And a lot of times when I think back and I trace my steps back to that time, I didn't have any structure. Because I ran my life and I was my boss when it came to that situation. I woke up when I wanted to. I worked on it whenever I wanted to. I kind of gave it the bare minimum. I kind of did whatever. Like I didn't have any structure or discipline with it because I was the one in charge. And if I wanted to give myself a break, I would. If I wanted to sleep in, I would. Right? I didn't really, I was leaning too much on the benefits of being your own boss and taking advantage of that, which was hurting me and my business overall. Right? You need structure. You definitely have to be more intentional about your structure as an entrepreneur than you have to be intentional about your structure as an employee at someone else's company. Because as an entrepreneur, you set the schedule, right? The person that owns the company that you will be working at, they're the ones they're the head honcho that gives orders. They probably have a manager hired on to manage you specifically or, directly. They may not work directly in the company, but they call the shots, right? So in your business, you're the company owner. So you call the shots. But if you're a solo entrepreneur, you're by yourself. You are your own boss. So you have to look at it as if you literally are your own boss. Like a lot of times we hear about entrepreneurship and we hear that line, be your own boss. And we just think, just, run your own life, run your own business. We don't think about it in the literal sense of be your own boss. Like you literally have to somehow separate in your head the company owner and then you as an employee. So company owner, you as an employee, and you have to put on your company owner hat, your CEO hat sometimes, and tell yourself what to do, the employee, as if you are two different people, right? That's what I had to do at least. That worked better for me because the way my brain works, I have to categorize things. If I'm walking into my workspace as an entrepreneur with both hats on at the same time or no hat at all, and I'm just like, hey, this is my business, I'm going to do what I want to do, it can be very difficult and it can make my daily tasks very foggy because I'm at home. I'm just working on my business. I'm just getting up whenever I want to go. Like I'm not really setting deadlines for myself to complete this task by 5 p.m. or complete this task by Thursday at 7 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? But when I go into it as if like, hey, this is what the boss, when it's really me, this is what the boss said I have to get done by this time, then I put my employee hat on and I start to get that stuff done by that time. And of course, being realistic, like obviously I'm just one person, but it just helps going into it with that mindset, right? Because it allows me to stick to deadlines better. It allows me to know, of course, not everything sticks completely. Like I do because I am my own boss. I do allow myself to alter things, but it helps me get a schedule together. You put the schedule out there and then you adjust accordingly if necessary. You don't just adjust just because you can and it's your business and you want to take a nap right now. So you're going to just set this deadline 3 days back because you feel like going to sleep right now. Sometimes as your own boss, you have to deny breaks to yourself. You have to deny a nap to yourself. That's just the nature of the beast. The beauty of it is once you get to a certain point, you'll get to automate everything and do what you want to do. But when you're in the trenches and you're getting this thing off the ground and you're working in it, sometimes you have to be a little bit of I don't want to say mean, but a little bit of a strict boss to yourself. You have to deny yourself like, I'm just going to take a break and have a glass of wine or something. Nah, let's push that glass of wine back to like 9 o'clock. It's 6. We can we can wait. We can go and get this stuff done and wait till 9 o'clock, right? That's the main reason I say structure is important. Other ways that I've implemented structure are I have a calendar. I have multiple calendars actually because I'm getting a business off the ground, but that business has offers so many different services that I have to have separate calendars for not necessarily for separate services, but for separate things. I may show y'all my calendar one day and break it all down. But I have to have different calendars. One for my personal brand, me as Dareus White, the entity, which involves this YouTube channel and everything and Loft Talk and things of that nature, right? Well, it really doesn't. It involves Loft Talk in a way, but I'll break that down. So with me, there's my personal brand. There's Dareus, the individual, the entertainer, whatever the case may be, right? I have a calendar for my personal brand and my personal self. I have a calendar for Loft Talk and everything YouTube, right? And Loft Talk, everything YouTube and everything podcast, right? And then I have a calendar for my business. So I have 3 separate calendars currently, right? And in addition to those calendars, I have to-do lists that go with each calendar day by day, right? And I learned this from Aaron on Demand. I'm pretty sure if you're on my YouTube, you've probably heard of Aaron on Demand before. I got this from her a few years back, top 3 method. So basically, ever since she taught me this method, I've been using it to get things done during the day, right? So usually the night before I'll set my top 3. And when I wake up the next day, I know these are my top 3 tasks that have to be done today, no matter what, right? After I get those done, if I can squeeze other things in comfortably or whatever the case may be, then I'll do that. A lot of times, I'll be honest with y'all, I'll do my top 3 and then I'll have like 7 bonuses. Like I'll do top 3 and then like bonus. It'll be like 7. So sometimes I do defeat the purpose of the top 3. But I'm working on that. I'm a lot better at it. I try not to cram too much because that's one thing I dealt with. But yeah, so with my personal brand calendar, it's structured day by day. Like Monday, you're posting this. Monday, you're getting this done. Tuesday, Thursday, and so on, right? Same thing with the YouTube and Loft Talk and podcast stuff. You're uploading these podcasts and having them ready to stream. You're editing this video by this day. You're batch recording on this day, right? And with my business, it's you're working on this client stuff on this day. You're working on this for your portfolio on this day. You're reaching out to this amount of clients by Friday, right? And so everything is scheduled and structured down to a T. You get what I'm saying? And of course, I'm not saying you have like your structure, your schedule is set in stone. Feel free to alter it a little bit and shift things around. Don't get crazy. Don't get crazy and just start moving stuff around just because you're tired and you lazy, right? You want to be lazy that day. But the whole point is to have a plan. You have a plan, and then once you get to step 3, if there's no way to get to step 4 the way that you planned it and you have to pivot, fine. But don't just be shifting stuff around and don't go in without a plan, right? Don't go in without a structure or a calendar. I like to use paper calendars. I like to use ink to pen. I like to use pen to paper. I like to write. I have to physically write stuff down. It helps my brain. Once I empty these thoughts and these plans onto paper and into a calendar, it makes the most sense to me. I use my iPad to script YouTube videos sometimes. That's about the only thing that I do digitally as far as writing stuff down and planning stuff. But even that, sometimes I have to take it out of the iPad and put it on notebook paper, right? So I would personally recommend when you structure your life out, you structure your day out, your personal brand, your business, your entertainment, whatever the case may be, use paper and pen. Use a paper calendar and a pen. Or even a big whiteboard or dry erase calendar. That works too. I recommend it because when you can see your hand writing this stuff down and you can physically wake up in the morning and see it all laid out on all plastered on the wall, it allows your brain to physically see it and organize it better, right? Some people may be able to deal with doing it digitally. I'm just not one of those people that prefers that. I know Evernote or something like that and Notion. I'm not I know how to use those programs, but I don't. For my personal life, I don't prefer to use those currently. That may change, but right now I like pen and paper. And structure isn't just about business. It's not just about your personal brand and online presence. Structure is also about your personal life outside of your work and your entrepreneurship, right? You need to, because you are an entrepreneur 9 times out of 10, or even if you work a 9 to 5 and you have hustles or whatever the case may be, you need to structure in rest. You need to plan in rest. You need to structure in doctor's appointments. You need to structure in therapy. You need to plan all of this stuff in, just like you plan your work schedule, right? Because if you don't, and you start letting that stuff just kind of like happen whenever, you'll mess around and never pay attention to it and never contribute to it. You'll never get the right amount of rest. You'll never go to the doctor when you need to. You'll never schedule your therapy appointments, whatever the case may be, right? Because you feel like as an entrepreneur, you're so focused on your business and this is your personal life, and nobody's really going to force you to go to the doctor. Nobody's going to force you to sleep. Nobody's going to force you to get rest. So for my driven people that love their job, that love their work, that love planning things out and love seeing progress and getting things done, remember to schedule in rest. Remember to schedule in fun. Remember to schedule in going to the bar. You get what I'm saying? Some with this type of lifestyle, you have to schedule in stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? I had to learn the hard way. Hopefully you don't have to learn the hard way. Hopefully you can take what I'm saying and apply it to your life. And if you want to see how I specifically plan my life out, or other ways that I think would be good ways to structure out your daily calendar and whatever the case may be, then let me know in the comment section below. I'll definitely get the script in that video out. I appreciate y'all for tuning in again. Thanks for staying to the end of the episode. If you would like to listen to the podcast version, which is on all podcast streaming platforms, it will be in the description below. And subscribe if you haven't already. Turn that notification bell on, because you're not going to want to miss the next episode and 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 the next episode, or the episode after that. And then the one after that, you don't want to miss that one either. And then the episode after that, you really don't want to miss that one, because the episode after that is going to be really good too. So you don't want to miss any episodes, right? So go ahead and turn that notification bell on. Like this video if you got something from it. If you were entertained by it, let me know in the comment section below. If it sparked a thought in your head, give it a like, subscribe, and stay tuned. And until next episode, peace.